Opposition leader Raila Odinga and his supporters in Nairobi trying to find their way to the city center. Protesters were heading to the president's office and State House. They did not get far. This is a protest against the rising cost of basic commodities, inflation, taxes, and electoral reforms. In opposition areas like this one, police were prepared. They cordoned off all roads, but that did not stop the demonstrators. Several people were arrested, including politicians. The protesters are saying they will not give up until their demands are met. They're calling this a revolution.
Life is hard. The economy is doing badly. Basic commodity prices have skyrocketed. The president said he would reduce prices in the first 100 days, but he has not done much.
We gave President William Ruto the mandate to rule. We thought he will make things easier. We woke up early to go vote for him. Next time, I might not even bother to go vote.
Odinga says the protesters across the country will continue. He's organized similar ones over the years. In 2018, he organized demonstrations for months after a disputed election in 2017. That election was won by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenyatta yielded to opposition demands and made a political truce after it became difficult to run the government. Now the protesters and their leaders say this is not the end, and they won't stop until President William Ruto and his government listen to what they're saying. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.
The leader of Kenya's opposition was tear-gassed by police on Monday during a protest against President William Ruto and the high cost of living. Raila Odinga's convoy was repeatedly sprayed with tear gas as he addressed supporters from the sunroof of his car. Odinga's spokesman, Dennis Anyango, said at least 4 members of parliament were arrested during the protests in Nairobi, including the minority leaders of the National Assembly and the Senate. Odinga has called for national protests as he attempts to harness dissatisfaction with the president. Despite Ruto's promises to bring down living costs since taking power in September, inflation has remained high. It rose to 9.2% in February. Ruto says his government is laying the foundations for a healthier economy, including by cutting reliance on borrowing. Odinga has also cast the demonstration as an opportunity to protest against Kenya's election last August. He says that vote was tainted by fraud. Odinga challenged the results in the Supreme Court last year, but the court affirmed Ruto's win.
Tensions are high in the Kenyan capital city, Nairobi. A group of opposition leaders have taken to the streets and they want President William Ruto's administration to deal with the cost of living crisis, high inflation, and seemingly there's still dissatisfaction in relation to last year's election results. Security has been beefed up in and around the State House. President Ruto has indicated that people are more than welcome to protest as long as it remains peaceful and people's lives must be protected at all costs. This comes as the EFF in South Africa has also embarked on a shutdown of rolling blackouts and wants President Cyril Ramaphosa to step down.
Today, we're sending a message to the whole African continent. You don't have weapons, you only have your bodies. Go and put them on the picket lines and tell all those dictators in Africa that their days are numbered. South Africa and Africa belongs to democracy.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga has rejected what he calls intimidation from the government, and he remains steadfast that government must be held accountable. Khalihle Khumalo, SABC News.
For now, we are suffering. I can't even afford even a liter of sugar. Sugar now is even 40 shillings. Last government, I can say, in fact, it was saving us. This government is full of hypocrites.
Kenyans took to the streets Monday for a day of action called by the opposition despite a ban on the demonstrations. They protested the country's cost of living crisis in Nairobi and other parts of the nation. Opposition leader Raila Odinga on Sunday insisted that protest would proceed as planned and demonstrators would march to State House, the official residence of the president. At least 3 legislators and several demonstrators have been arrested in protests in the capital. Kenyans are suffering from surging prices for basic necessities, as well as a sharp drop in the local shilling against the US dollar and a drought that has left millions hungry. Opposition members blame the economic situation on President Ruto's leadership.